What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. You guys are used to seeing me work on the 2020 Tundra Platinum or my other baby, my boat here. But today we're actually going to be working on my wife's 2019 Toyota RAV4. We're going to be installing the LASFIT interior LED bulbs. I'll show you how to get all these done. I got to be honest, I couldn't find a whole lot out there on the RAV4, and I've been switching over to these LASFIT bulbs on the Tundra. You guys know that if you've been around the channel. The bulbs are phenomenal, so I'm going to start doing it in my wife's RAV4 as well. So I'm going to show you guys how to do all of the interior lights on the RAV4. Again, there's a little bit of confusion out there from what I've actually seen on how to get some of these bulbs changed out. So it's very simple, not hard at all, so I'll show you how to get it done. So before we get into the install, I just want to show you the bulbs we're going to be working with today. For the most part, all of the interior bulbs on the RAV4 are LT10s. Look like this from LASFIT. You can see on the back, right there on the top of the white part, you can see the LT10 part number. And then the dome lights are the L-28mm. They look like that. They're the dome light is going to be the only one where we use these bulbs. Everything else is going to be the LT10s. And just so you guys know, if you're new to the channel, I do have a discount code for all of my viewers with LASFIT. It's Judge10. We'll save you 10% site-wide on any of their bulbs. And also their all-weather floor mats, which I have in the Tundra, and I love them. So let's get into the install here. I'll put links down below for you guys for everything that you're going to see in this video. So let's get into the install. We'll start with the vanity lights. We're just going to start here and work our way to the back of the vehicle. Pretty much all we're going to need to get this done is a plastic pry tool. Very, very simple to do. So on this 2019 RAV4 XLE, the vanity lights are actually up. They're not on the mirror itself. They're up above here. And I will, the other thing I'm going to do in this video, I'm only going to do one side of the vehicle. So that way later on when it gets a little dark, I'll be able to show you guys comparison wise. Instead of just putting pictures up on the screen, I'll be able to show you comparison wise, you know, half the vehicle with the LASFIT bulbs, the other half with the stock bulbs, so you guys can see what a difference it actually makes. In order to get these vanity lights changed, all you're going to do is on the inside, so not on the door side, on the inside of this plastic piece, you're just going to get your pry tool up there in between the plastic piece and the liner, and you can see it'll just pop right down like that, and then you just kind of work the other side off there, okay? And then this little plastic piece will pop off just like that. Once you have that off, you can see the bulb right here, and if you have small enough fingers, you can probably get your fingers up there and just pull the bulb out, but my fingers are too big. So what you have to do is, and I'll actually, you know what, let me get the camera a little bit closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so once you pop this plastic piece off there, what you can do, again, here's the bulb. You can see if you have small enough fingers, you can get up there. But if you can't, there's a little clip right here. All you do is pull it in, like squeeze it in, and that'll release this whole plastic piece and let it hang down. So now you can come up, get your fingers in there much easier, and just grab the bulb and pull it straight out, just like that. Okay, so all we're gonna do is grab one of the LASFIT LT10s, and we're just gonna slide the LASFIT right into the same location. Make sure it's all the way in there. And then what you can do is just pop that side right back up in there. Make sure that's nice and secure. And we can go ahead, and you're going to want to start with this side over here. And actually, it's even easier to do if you do this. Kind of hook that on, and then we can hook this plastic piece back on first, and then just push the whole thing back up in there. Just like that. Next up are your map lights here and here. Now these are the lights where I saw some confusion, and I guess different models of the RAV4 are going to be slightly different on this part, okay? On the XLE, 2019 XLE, In most cases, you would be able to just get your plastic pry tool up in between this trim piece and the plastic lens, and you'd be able to pop that lens off. That is not the case in the 19XLE. What you actually have to do, and I'll show you why you can't do that once we actually get in there. What you actually have to do is we need to pop this trim piece off in order to get these lenses out without breaking them. In order to do that, all you do is take your plastic pry tool, get it in between this trim and the headliner, and just start prying it down. It's only held in by clips. You're not going to break it. Don't worry about it. And I mean, don't get me wrong, these clips can be a little stubborn, but if you just kind of slowly work your way around, you'll see that these clips will just start working out for you. And just take your time. You're dealing with plastic. You're not going to break it. You know, if you take your time and do it properly, it comes off relatively easily, but they can be a little bit stubborn. All right, so we're just going to work our way all the way around, and you can see now this trim piece came off. So I'm going to put a picture up on your screen and show you what it looks like up in here. There's no way to get these lenses off on this 2019 Rav4 XLE without breaking them with that trim piece in place. You can't do it because of the way they're held in here. There's a tab up here. There's a little cutout over here. There's a tab down here, and because of the way it's positioned, you just cannot get at it with that trim piece intact. All right, so now that we have that trim piece off, we can now go ahead and, now this part you could actually grab if you had a flathead screwdriver, which I should have brought one out with me, because again, there's a tab right up in here that's holding it in place. Okay. But you could pop it off there without the flathead. It would make it easier if you had a flathead screwdriver, but as you can see, you can do it without. So here's what I mean. I'll give you a look at this lens. So when it's up there, it's held on by two clips that are back here, kind of not in the middle, but you know, they're not on the edge where you can easily get at them with the plastic pry tool. It's held on by a clip up top, a clip down bottom, and then there's a couple cutouts here where it goes over an edge. So there really is no way to get this off. You know, I can't say there's no way, but the chances of you breaking this lens, trying to get it off without removing that trim on this 19XLE, slim to none. Chances are you're going to break this piece very easily when you're trying to pry it off there. Trust me, I almost did. So now that we have that off, the bulb is right here. You can just reach up, grab it with your fingers. And now these bulbs tend to be in there a little bit snug, so just be careful. You might even want to just, you know, if you wanted to grab it with, if you wanted to put like a towel or something over your fingers just in case. But as you can see, you can pull it right out of there just like that. All right, so we'll grab another one of the LT10s from LASFIT. And again, we're only going to do this side so I can show you a comparison later on. So we're just going to take the LT10 from LASFIT, slide it right up in there in that socket. Just make sure it works before we put the cover on. And I mean, you can kind of see, I'll put the lens back on here, but you'll get a better look at this later on when it's dark. But you can already see what a difference these LASFIT bulbs make. So let me just turn this on real quick for you here. Whoops. So you can kind of see right there. And you know, we're in broad daylight. You could clearly see what a difference as far as not only like the color of the light, it's a much more white. It kind of gives it almost like that luxurious look. You know, it's a white light, but it's also much brighter. One quick tip, when you're going to put the trim piece back on, I find it's easier to start here in the back. Sorry, I hope my head's not in the way. And get the back lined up first, and then you can kind of start snapping it in. And as you can see, snaps right back on that easily. Okay, just make sure it's up there nice and snug. All the clips go around with your fingers around the edges, and it's that easy to put back on. Here we are in the back seat, ready to do the dome light. That's the bulb that's going to take the L28mm. In order to get this clear lens off, all you're going to do is on the front side of it, so where your switch is, all you're going to do is take your plastic pry tool, and there's a tan plastic outer ring, and then the lens. Get your plastic pry tool in between the lens and that trim, that plastic trim and just kind of work your way in the front. So you can see I've already loosened that side off. Hopefully you can see. So I'm going to get my plastic pry tool and run it along the other side. And that'll pop off like that. All right, it's only held on by clips. I'll show you how to, when you go to put it back on, you want to slide the back end in first. Okay, so now that that's off, the bulb that we're going to be working with is right there, dead center in the middle. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and take the LASFIT bulb, which looks like this, and we're just going to, now this does matter. As you can see, the LEDs are on one side. The other side, there's no LEDs. So obviously you're going to want to install it with the LEDs facing down. So as I mentioned, to get the cover back on now this one I'm not going to be able to give you, I'm going to have to use pictures, or I mean, as you can see in the video here, there's only one bulb in this, so I won't be able to do a comparison later on, you know, with half the vehicle stock and half the vehicle LASFIT. There's only one bulb here. So all right, but as you can clearly see, definitely much brighter. Now in order to get this clear plastic piece on, again, you're going to want to put the back two clips, I don't know if you can see them right here by my fingers. You're going to want to slide them into the slots, which you can't miss them, and slide those in, and then push the front up, and you'll feel it and hear it click back into place. So the last light we're going to be dealing with in the RAV4 in the interior is the trunk light right here. Only one bulb back here as well. There's not one on the other side, so unfortunately I can't do the whole, you know, half stock, half LASFIT. So I'll turn it on just so you can kind of see how dim and yellow it looks. All right, and then to get that lens off, it's very, very simple. Just take your plastic pry tool, and on this side of it, just get your plastic pry tool, and this is why you want to use plastic as far as the tool, so you don't scratch anything. Just get it behind there, and that lens will slide out just like that. Okay, so just you can remove it there, and there's a wiring harness back here. Just depress the clip and pull it out like that, so you can separate this piece. Now once you have this in your hand, in order to get to the bulb, you have to remove this square piece here. In order to do that, it's only held in by clips. So you can get again a flathead screwdriver, which I'm actually gonna, let me grab my flathead screwdriver real quick. All right, so when you're looking at it like this, there's a clip right here and one on the other side in the same spot. So just take your Phillips head screwdriver and just kind of get in there, and you can kind of pry it off there. Again, you're working with plastic, so just be careful. But as you can see, you can get that back, you can get the back popped up like that, and then the front is only held on, it's not even a clip, it's almost like I don't know how to describe it, and I don't even know if I can get you a look in there, but you'll see it once you have this in your hands. Once you have that back freed up, you could kind of loosen the front off, and it'll pull off like that, give you access to the bulb. So again, this is an LT10, so you're just going to pull the bulb out just like that. We'll take the LASFIT LT10, slide it back down in the same spot, make sure it's down there all the way, and this piece is just going to slide right back into place. So just line it up, you'll feel it and hear it click into place. We can reconnect the wiring harness, and we can now slide this right back in, and you can see how much whiter. And again, I'll give you a look at this when it's dark later on, but unfortunately I can't give you the side-by-side comparison. But again, you can see how much brighter and whiter the light is. So before it gets too dark, let me give you a comparison with the side-by-sides. Once it gets pitch black, the lighting just does not show up well on camera because of the glare. So let's start with the vanity bulbs. So I'm going to turn, we kept the passenger side of the vehicle stock. So let me just reach around the camera here. Bear with me one second. Okay, so that gives you a look at the stock bulb kind of dim, very yellowish in color. So let's close that. And then there's the LASFIT. As you can see, it speaks for itself. I don't even have to say much here. Super bright, gives you that nice white color, and just lights it up so much better. All right, so those are the vanity bulbs. Now let's take a look at the map lights. Again, passenger side. I'll turn that on as stock. Very yellow, very dim. Doesn't really light up this side of the vehicle well at all. Even on the visor, you can see there, it doesn't really light it up well at all. So let's turn that off. And then we have the LASFIT. Again, night and day. Speaks for itself. So much brighter. You can even see down here on the steering wheel, it just lights up that whole side of the vehicle. So once we get both LASFIT bulbs in up there, you know, it's just going to be, the difference is going to be, you know, just incredible. So let me give you a look at the dome lights, and then I'll show you the trunk light. For the dome light, I have you positioned by the rear driver side door, and this is going to be the LASFIT bulb that you're looking at. There was only one bulb back here, as I showed you, so I can't give you a side-by-side. I will put a picture on the screen giving you a picture side-by-side of the stock bulb versus the LASFIT, but let me turn on the LASFIT and show you how bright it is. Okay, so let me take the camera off the tripod here and give you a look. Again, lighting is not always picked up extremely well on camera, but you can see instead of that yellowish color, it's that bright white. And in person, I mean, it lights up the entire interior of the car. And I don't have the front lights on, as you can see up there. I don't have the map lights on. This is just the dome light. And the entire interior of the car is lit up. Last but not least, the trunk light. So there's only the one bulb back here. I can't show you a video of a side-by-side, but I will put pictures up on the screen of the LASFIT versus the stock, just so you can get an idea. But I'm just kind of beating a dead horse here. As you can see, super bright, super white light, way better than stock. One thing I want to mention before I wrap the video up, if you go with the kit that I'm showing you in today's video, the link will be down below, you're going to get 4 other LT10 bulbs. What these are for is the Footwell lighting in the vehicle. Unfortunately, my wife's Rav4 does not have that option, so I can't show that to you in this video. Very easy to swap them out. You pop the lens off, switch the bulb. Very simple to do. I just can't go over it with you in today's video because I don't have that option on my wife's Rav4. All right, so I'm just going to set these extra bulbs aside in case I ever need them down the road, and that way I have backups or spares for, you know, if I need them at a later date. Highly recommend these LASFIT bulbs, guys. I love them in the Tundra, which is why we're switching over to them on the Rav4. Discount code JUDGE10 saves you 10% site-wide on all of their bulbs and their all-weather floor mats. Give them a look. I have the all-weather floor mats in the truck. I love them. I went from the Husky X-Ax to the LASFITs, and I couldn't be happier. Any questions, comments, concerns on anything you saw today, let me know down below. We'll get them addressed for you, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.